Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online. Buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Welcome, Coach. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm chilling, my brother. I'm chilling. Good to have you here, man. Good to have you.
Thank you.
I was just telling the story, my man, Mark Petit, who played at Hofstra with Speedy. He asked me who was, my toughest competition in college. I went to Lincoln, then I went to Maine Central Prep School, and then I went to Fairleigh Dickinson. And I was talking about this guy, Mike Monster, who gave me the business. But he was talking to me the whole game, bro. You know how some dudes talk to you and they being real rude about it?
Right.
This guy was polite to me the whole game. But giving me the business and like telling me, yo, that was tough, man. You played some tough defense. Oh, man. Yo, you're going to be good, man. Just keep doing what you're doing.
It messed your whole mind up, probably.
It was throwing me off. Right?
Yeah.
But, again, that was another game we won. So I can say out of the 3 times I got served, I lost one of the games and won both the other 2. So
it's a learning experience, man. It's a lesson. That's all.
That's all it is, man. That's all it is. All right, Coach. Who introduced you to the game?
Probably like my mom's my sister, man, because I had an older sister, and she actually wanted to play high school basketball. And it was like time to go to the park. And I was like, let me go with y'all. And I just loved it from there. From then,
she played high school basketball?
She didn't play it all. She changed her mind, became a cheerleader. But she actually, liked it. You know what I mean? So,
right. There you go.
Then my next door neighbor, I lived in Albany Project, so we had housing. So he had all the young boys playing basketball. So God bless my next door neighbor, Mr. Jack, but he's probably the first person that really showed me how to play the game and, what it meant to play the game.
Okay. So you played ball?
Yeah. I went to Banneker. I won the championship at Banneker, 2001.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool. So now we got another set of questions to ask. That's good now. Cool. So y'all guys, this is very interesting, Coach. This is very interesting. I like this.
Gotcha.
So you played junior high school ball?
Yeah, I went to 390.
You went 390. Who was your coach there?
Mr. Bennett. It's Keith Bennett. That was around the high energy days, so now everybody's playing high energy.
Okay. And that was definitely one of the tournaments that was big in the 90s, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you played junior high school ball. How did you guys fare there? And what position did you play?
At that time, I was probably at the same height I am now, so I was playing everything. So at that time, I was learning how to put the ball on the floor a little bit, playing small forward, and I wasn't going to get the ball taken away from me, so they tried to make me play the point guard. So I was the kind of person that just did whatever needed to be done because I wanted to be on the court. So it didn't matter. So what happened was when I was in middle school, I used to play with the Brooklyn Bridge, with Khalid Green.
Yeah.
Coach Green was like, yo, you should go to Banneker. And I was like, go to Banneker? I didn't know anything about Banneker. It was a new school. And he was like, I'm going over there. So I was comfortable with him. A lot of my teammates went over to Banneker. So that's the high school I chose to go to. I played for Wendell Saunders, Rodney Plummer, Perry Williams. They was all good guys.
Okay, so you come from a solid background, brother.
Yeah.
Those some good names in Brooklyn basketball. So how did you end up, matter of fact, let's go back. Who was the best player in your neighborhood when you was coming up?
My neighborhood, I would have to say a young man named Squirt.
Okay.
He went to Mount Carmel. He was like top in the country. That's like 7th grade, 8th grade. He was a monster. But I would say him, Roberto Stoops, Tutu.
Uh-huh.
He was from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Pretty good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the guys who the neighborhood kind of looked to and wanted to watch play when it was coming up.
Right. There was another dude. He was an older guy. I forget his name, but he was supposed to go to Texas Tech. But I'm not too sure what happened, but he was nice. He was real good.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool. So how did you get to Robeson? Or was that the zone? That was the zone school right down the block.
No, I went to Banneker.
You went to Banneker. Excuse me.
Yeah, I went to
How did you get there?
What you mean?
How did you get to Banneker? Like, what made you go there, not to Boys and Girls and not Robeson?
Coach Green. Coach Khalil Green wanted me to go to Banneker, so I was like, you know what? Let's go. And I was tired of being in my neighborhood. I went to middle school, the neighborhood, elementary school. I wanted to see something different, have my own path.
So you're a Banneker guy chewing through, man.
That's it. Yes, sir.
You bleed that. You bleed that orange, yellow and burgundy, right?
Yellow and gold. I mean, yellow and red.
Yellow and gold. Yellow and gold. That's right. Yellow and gold.
Yep.
Cool, man. Cool. So how did you get in? How did you guys? Who are some of the guys that you played with at Banneker?
One of my teammates made it to the league. Gary Forbes.
Yes, Gary Forbes used to live right around the corner from me, man. A young guy who I used to talk to a lot when he was coming up. Very, very good young man. Yes.
Gary Forbes. We had Kareem Lloyd, Sean Keys, dude named Fresh. Real name was Douglas Hammonds.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude named Tunde, lights out shooter. One of my other boys, Daniel Saunderson. He's from the neighborhood too. So.
Okay. All right. What up, Stim? What up, Pat? Guys just joined the building. So who did you grow up idolizing? Who were the guys that you looked up to say, you know what? I want to pattern my game behind them. This way I could be steady in high school.
Man, honestly, I really didn't have nobody I wanted to idolize my game because I kept changing. Positions kept changing, so I was going with the flow. Whatever, like I said, whatever coach wanted me to do, that's what I did. So I really didn't have nobody that I idolized, but I did like to watch somebody like Grant Hill because he did play multiple positions.
Okay. And you guys won the city championship. What year was that?
2001. I think we played.
How was that experience for you?
It was a roller coaster, man, because we got the number 2 seed, but we was undefeated until one day we had practice, right? And Coach Saunders forgot that he changed the date of the game. So we're practicing for the game against Automotive. We was going to play against George Jefferson that passed away.
Yes.
And
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, George. So we're practicing on, say, Monday for a Tuesday game, but all actuality, the game was on Monday. So we forfeited, and instead of us being 16-0, it was 15-1.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got the number 2 seed. And when we got that 2 seed, of course, everybody was, upset about it. But one thing about us, we learned to fight. It was nothing easy. And, every playoff game, we was down. We might be down 10-15, fourth quarter. We just fought back. I remember the semifinal game, we down 20, get into the fourth quarter. And we just got down, locked in, played D, came back, won by about 10. And then we got the championship. We was also down the championship, came back
right
4 minutes. So it was like a roller coaster ride, but it taught me you never give up. No matter how much you're down, no matter how much people might be against you, you take that with strides and you just push through. And you also got to make sure you got good people around you. You got to trust your teammates. It got to be more than just a teammate. It got to be your brother. Because once they're your brother, they got your back. And y'all all got the same goal in mind. So we was able to get that city championship, the first and only in school history. And
who was the team that y'all defeated that year? You remember? That question is from my man Marco.
I know it's from Harlem. It's not. I think Thurgood Marshall. Maybe it was Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall. Yes.
I think that's right.
Y'all beat them for the city championship.
Yeah, beat them in the city, and then we got killed in the States by Amityville. They had Jason Frazier. They had AJ Price. I went to UConn. Jason Frazier was an All-American.
Yes.
So, you know, we definitely got, you know, got handled, but we did our job though. We got the city. You know, of course we want the state.
That's right.
But you know, we took care of the city.
And that was you guys first.
Yeah, first and only.
Still chasing that chip. And the way you guys was going this year, man, listen, you guys was gonna run. We're gonna get to that part, coach.
Yeah.
We definitely want to get there. How did you go to college afterwards? What college did you go to?
I was supposed to go to play ball at Southern Vermont, but my grandmother was sick. And she always talked about Virginia. So I just said, you know what? Let me go to her hometown. So I went to Virginia State. I didn't play ball though. At that time, my mind was off basketball. I just worried about getting my college degree. You know, I played.
That's right.
College.
That's right.
That was yeah.
Yeah, man. I can definitely connect with you on that because during the time I was in school, my mom was sick and my family wouldn't tell me because they knew I would have left school.
Right.
Right. So that's definitely something heavy for a young man to deal with because we don't know a lot what kids are going through. Right.
Right.
College, high school, kids are dealing with a lot in real life.
Right.
You know, a lot can be put on their shoulders. So the fact that you went and you got your degree, right, and came out with your paperwork,
right.
Salute to you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you all what's going on, man.
Thank you.
Definitely. So how did the coaching bug? How did you get the coaching bug?
It was like I was about to graduate, and I'm like, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I didn't want to stay in Virginia, but I didn't want to come home and be in my mom's house bored. So I reached back out to Saunders, probably on a Monday. And I'm like, Coach, I graduated. I want to come home. How can I be involved? He said, we got a game the next day against boys and girls. I said, what time will be there? He said, be there about 3:30. Next morning, I got in the road, drove straight down. It was my mom's birthday. I went to the house, said happy birthday to my mother. I went straight to the high. But I couldn't get in because my name was on the list. And I was like, all right, well, Coach, I'm here. You know, I want you to know I came. What's next? He said, be at practice. So I was at practice with the JV team, the varsity team, and just learning the game. You know, it was different because I felt like at that time I'm 22 years old. These guys 17, 18. We're somewhat peers. So it was kind of hard for me to be able to figure out how can I make them listen to me. But at that time I realized I had to listen to them because I need to be able to help them out. They couldn't help me out at that time.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
So I'm saying, how important you think are mentors? Because I know a lot of young men who went to college, played basketball, and those who didn't play basketball, when it came time for them to leave college, they had no idea what they wanted to do.
Right.
Right? And brother, so many kids are in that position because they don't have no one to bounce ideas off of, right? And a lot of times we don't have that family stream where we can say, you know, I'm gonna go work for the family business. We trying to figure that out. And we gotta find a way where we can help young men figure it out. So it's not so stressful when they leave in college because they're like in a small incubator while they're in college and they get taken care of. But once they come out to the real world, it's like, what are your credentials?
Right.
You know, Penny Anderson mentioned it yesterday, even being in the NBA, you could be in the NBA, do 14 years, be 35, and they're like, okay, what did you do? What kind of work experience did you have? If you're not trying to create your own experience.
It's tough.
So
you're not thinking about that. We just think about that task at hand.
Right. Right. It's a lot for a young man to deal with, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. So you got the coaching because you reached out.
Right.
Right? You reached out to your old coach and he said, look, this is what we're going to do. Did you do it because you fell in love with it, because you was in love with it, or you did it because you needed some kind of employment?
I would say I did it just because I wanted to be around something I knew. You know, graduating college and not having a job is the uncertain. At least if I was around basketball, I knew something. You know, I didn't get paid. I just was doing it for I learned how to love it. You know.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I learned how to love it, and then once I got the love for it, it was like I can't walk away from
And you start out, did you coach JV first before you went up to varsity?
I did. I did JV like, I think I wrote it down. I did JV about 6 years. I did JV 6 years, and it was the JV coach one day was like, "Listen, I don't want to do it no more." I realized some games he'll be sitting back and he'll let me coach, and I'm like, "What's he doing?" You know, but I'm not gonna ask him that. I'm showing my respect. So I'll still do whatever he tell me to do. Then one day he was like, "I don't want to do it no more," and I was like, "Okay, what's up? What happened?" He was like, "Cause it's not my time no more. It's your time." It's my time, and I was like, "I appreciate that. Just let me know, what I have to do." And he told me, I took care of what I had to take care of, and I just ran with it.
So listen, brother, it sounds like this is something that you meant to do, and you probably don't realize it.
Right. So I ran
Because
into it.
you saying to yourself, right, he's giving you this platform for you to get your skills up, and you saying to yourself, then what is this guy doing for me?
Right.
Why is he sitting back, not even knowing he was grooming you for this position?
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yep.
And how did you guys do once you took over?
I think I've been doing this 11 years, right? I won a division every year but one. So when I first started, I just had that same mentality I had as a player, as an assistant coach, and I used almost everything that I learned from Coach Saunders, Coach Williams, and I just ran with it. And I was doing good. I think I won like 12, 14. I think it was like 14 games. It was an 18-game season. I won 14. And I had a lot of freshmen. So it was like, we get to do this thing all over again. And I was like, the more and more I learned, the more and more I learned from it, it was like, became easier for me.
Okay, all right. And how did you end up on the varsity level? Were you doing coaching JV and varsity or just JV?
I was helping out with what happened. I helped out with Vars still. And when it was time for my JV guys to move up to Vars, they were ready. So that was one thing that kind of made Coach Saunders excited and happy. Of course, me being one of his former players. And then he took a sabbatical. So when he took a sabbatical, there was like, there's an opportunity for you to coach varsity next year.
Right.
But keep this in the back of your mind, it's for a year, and you're possibly going to have to go back down. So I'm like, I got all my guys I just had, let's go, let's do it. So I was able to do it for that 1 year, and then he came back. But at that time, I was like, nah, I don't want to give it up. And we had a meeting. We had a meeting with the principal. The principal was Mr. Muhammad from Bedford. And
yes.
He was my former teacher at Banneker. So he's seen the progression, he's seen the work ethic, he's seen the love, and he kept it real with Coach Saunders. He said sometimes people have to move on from positions that they're in to let the younger people get their opportunity. And once he said that, Saunders looked at me and was like, "You know what? You're right." And he let me take it over.
And you fought for it.
Yeah.
You fell in love with it. You got the bug. I think that's when you probably really got the bug. Because, you fight for things that you love.
Yeah, he let me take it over. And I was like, I didn't know what to do at that time. I'm like, damn, it's mine. What we do.
Right.
Like, I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing.
And that's how you became the head coach. What year was that?
That was 2016. 2016.
So it took y'all from 2016, from when you started, to get y'all to this point where y'all was at this year.
Nah. When I first started, I wrote it down for you too. 2016, I went 16-1, and just so happens they changed the game time. We had to go to Staten Island. We got like the number 8 seed, and we lost 1 game. So we had to go to McKee. The game would be at 4:30. They tell us when we get there, the game until 7. So now we sitting around being, getting lazy, restless, and we lost. We lost second round in McKee. Then the next year, we was 12-2. Then the next year, an altercation happened at the school where they felt some young men did some things at a corner store, and they took away like 3 or 4 of my members for a game. And we went to go play Francis Lewis. They got a point guard. He goes to Gardner Webb. He was real good. We lost to them by 3. And mine, like I said, I didn't have 3 or 4 of my main people. So that year right there was a year that we was definitely going to make a little run. And then the following year, we went to the quarterfinals. And I lost by 1, by a buzzer beater, to the team that went to win the championship. So when I first started, I was right there.
What team was that? What team was that?
Who's that? I gotta look that one up. I remember. Walton.
Okay, Walton. Okay.
That year they ran through. They beat everybody in Brooklyn to win the championship. It was us. It was Banneker. Then it was Grady. Then they beat Lawrence Tech with a tip-in. So it was like.
Who was your toughest competition in the A division?
This year or back then?
Back then and now. Let's go back then and now.
Back then, I would, every year they've been changing the division, so it hasn't been consistent. But I know, like, we had Lawrence Tech in there; they were pretty good. We had I think they won the championship the year before that. We had them. We had Global Studies. They were tall. They were big. They were tough at their home. We really never had like Bedford in our division, but of course, you come across them, it's going to be a battle.
Salute Rob Phelps in the building, Bedford Academy.
I don't know. I mean, I look at it like, honestly, every team we play, we can beat. That's just my mentality. Like, no matter who we playing, we got it.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this year, right? Because you went through the fire first couple of years.
Yeah.
Right? And now you guys get to the point where y'all feel this is y'all year. How did you know this year was going to be special, Coach?
I mean, I thought so because I was bringing back everybody almost. I lost one player. He over here right now. I see him talking, Jay Bucks, John James, in the Army. I lost him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I lost 2. I lost him and somebody named my boo. But I knew I was bringing everybody back. And I knew at that time I could trust my guard play. I know my bigs wanted to win. And when we actually made the semifinals the year before, it was one of those things like, it was like a fairy tale. Like, damn, we got here. It's sophomores and juniors. We just went 3-14 the year before. We got here. So they gained confidence to where sometimes I want to say anything. So as the year progressed, I started to see like different people started to get better. I'm not sure if you know the kid Charles, number 11. He started to come up.
Yes.
And I'm like, damn. Once he started doing that, I was like, there's nobody in Brooklyn, New York City that can stop that when he's playing like that.
Right.
Then I had Gabe Holly that was killing everybody.
Yeah, my boy Marco just said Gabe Holly is the truth.
You just put it. He was killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then when I had when I was able to have a full team back again, when I was able to have twins come back and rock out and play with us, when I was able to have Tyreek playing healthy and not being hurt, knocking down.
My God, Tyreek. I love that guy, yo. Yeah.
Great guy. So right there, it was like, I don't think nobody can stop us. And then, when they started to show me, like, Coach, chill, we good, don't worry. Then that's when I realized, like, okay, this could be a special year for us.
My boy Stay Stem said, how is the PSAL now that they keep switching the divisions?
I mean, it's hard in a sense because, like, for example, I have a tournament every year. And teams that I reach out to, they're like, Coach, I don't know if I can play you because you might be in my league this year. So it's hard for non-league games, right? And then they keep switching up stuff. Some years you have 16 games. Sometimes you got 18 games. You can't play. And then even in the summertime, you're out there watching for your opponents. You don't know when you're going to play.
That's crazy.
You never know.
So it makes it kind of difficult to scout teams and plan for the future against different teams.
Yeah, of course.
Why do you think the PSAL is doing that? Because I know in my era it was consistent year after year after year. We knew who we was gonna play. We knew who was in the conference, and it made it easier for us to understand our competition.
I have no answer. I mean, it's not like they letting too many people move up, move down. I know their reason was to make it closer. But some teams you're playing is still not in your area. And even right now, like they have it where now you might have maybe 4 to 5 teams in your conference. That's 10 games. But then you got 8 games, that's crossover games. So I'm not going all the way to Coney Island to play somebody. Like, I don't feel like those games are really needed sometimes.
Right.
Because it's taking away the experience from children to travel, to play on a bigger stage.
Well, I know us being in Coney Island, me being in Lincoln, we definitely had to travel, but not that far because, we had Grady, Lafayette, all those teams that was in our area, right? We never had to go. Boys High was never in our conference.
Right.
Right? Jefferson was never in our conference.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, I definitely understand that. Who's that? Darren said, Darren YKTV said, what's the best high school basketball team in Brooklyn?
You want me to answer that?
Right. Like
we're the best. So
that's right. What do you think he's supposed to say?
But I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you though. Being that you had the Brooklyn Borough Championship, we lost to South Shore. So I take my hat off to Coach Smoke.
South Shore. They have been the best team in Brooklyn for the last few years. So that's not even slighting you. That's just keeping it real.
Right.
Okay, so we go on this incredible run, right? And I'm there to witness it live in person. And I see y'all put the whoop ass on Thomas Jefferson, well, boys and girls, and then Thomas Jefferson, right? That same order, right?
Yeah, other way around.
Oh, right. Y'all went Jefferson first, then boys and girls.
Yep.
And then, not only that, y'all faced 2 of the toughest guards in the city.
Right.
Right? Juan Carlos and Khalil Bradley. What was the game plan? I don't want you to give away all your secrets, but what was the game plan in slowing them down, Coach? Because these are the 2 best players that not in the city of New York, right? And you did a hell of a job against them.
Thank you. So with Jaquan, the game plan was just like stay in front of him. Just keep fresh bodies on him. Our guard just told him, like we started off the game, Tawan guarded him pretty good. Then Tawan got tired, we put Tyreek on him. So we was just throwing fresh bodies at him, and just being aggressive. With the boys and girls guard, it's funny. I was talking to my assistant coach. I said, yo, we good. As long as you don't score 50, we good. Right? Before the game. But it was me joking. But, like, sometimes I be having these feelings like somebody going to do this, somebody going to do that. I had a feeling I'm going to get it off just because the magnitude of the game. He scored 47.
Right.
He didn't get that 50, and we got the win. So it's like, he looked at me like, yeah, how did you know that? I was like, I just felt that. But with him, what we did, Tyreek stepped up. Tawan stepped up. Tawan got him again, first half of the game. He just was making shots. It wasn't like he wasn't guarded. He just made shots. And it was like, all right, we good. He made the shot. They look at me, keep playing. Then I think the second half of the game, we made the adjustment where we were going to trap him. So he was starting to get tired. He was passing the ball a little bit more. So, again, like just throwing fresh bodies at people, trapping them, throwing different schemes. I think that kind of wore him down some.
Yeah, and with Tyreek playing the defense that he played, and then Twin coming through at the end how he did, right? And right then, just at that time, he was the best player on the floor. Right? Mm-hmm. But what I saw from Khalil Brantley that day, and I told him this, you guys played him the toughest I've seen anybody play him.
Thank you.
And at that time, you guys turned into the Knicks the old Knicks and the old Detroit Pistons, the way y'all handled it. It was just like Khalid Bradley rules, shut him down, make sure he hit the floor 3 or 4 times, right? And not being malicious,
right,
but playing tough.
right.
And I saw that. So we over to the side was the head of the PSAL, the head of the referees, Tom Kichowski, a few college coaches, and we're watching, and everyone's commending your team the way they played Khalil and how tough you guys were. I'm hearing the chatter.
Thank you.
So Khalil hit the floor. Khalil hit the floor like 3 or 4 times, and to his credit, and not him to outshine anybody else, but he didn't change his facial expression.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when he hit the floor, your guys picked him up and pat him on the ass, and let's start to play all over again, right? So that shows me what kind of kids that you have, being tough and also being fair, right? And also showing that, when you got a player like Khalil Bradley at that level, see if he can take the smoke, right?
Right.
When you see a guy that can take the smoke and then, go through the fire the way you guys put him through the fire, you can tell what kind of player he is and what kind of team he was facing that day. So when I saw you that day, Coach, and I walked up to you, I said, great game.
Yeah.
I meant that because, I seen you come up, Coach.
Thank you.
I seen you through the summer times. I seen you earn your stripes.
Thank you.
So, right, so, I definitely want to give you flowers early because you're going to have a long career, brother, and it's just the beginning.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Definitely. So, do you plan to move into the AA one day?
I'm going to answer that question real quick, but I want to add more to that story when we played the High.
Okay.
So that day we played the High, that's funny, he just joined too. Gabe just joined. I'm getting ready to talk about Gabe.
Okay. What's up, Gabe?
Just joined, right? When we played the High, Gabe, I know you saw it, Gabe broke a bone in his knee.
Yes.
So
yes.
That right there had everybody crying, had me like, what the, like, damn, what we gonna do? Not the fact that I didn't feel we were able to still compete against them, but I know these guys are close. They're brothers. They're all friends. They're emotional. And what I loved about the team, and that's another reason I thought we were going to make it far, they got together. They just like, it's not about us. It ain't about Coach. It ain't even about what's on our chest right now. It's about Gabe. You know what I mean? And like when I would be in the huddle, I would want to say 1, 2, 3 something. They'd be like, all right, Coach, we're going to say 1, 2, 3 Gabe. And I'd be like, all right, cool. So the rest of the game was just 1, 2, 3 Gabe. And I love the fact that they just played extra hard just for their teammate, for their brother. So that right, I want to tip my hat off to them. I told them that multiple times, but that was really like a game changer to me, like how they really stuck together. Because it could have went left. We could have got.
Yo, listen, I was just coming in the building when it happened, and I saw your team the way they gathered together.
Yeah. Right.
It turned from sad to fire, right? And you saw the real brotherhood. You saw the real brotherhood come out of those kids that day. And this kind of kept y'all, in a position to win the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me get back to that question. Will I move to the AA? Yeah, I'm with it. That doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that. But one thing about our school, remember it's a small school, you got to have an 80 average, just like Bedford. So where I'm okay with it, the principal, I have to talk to him again. I spoke to him. He told me yes, but being that we've been out of school for such a long time, I just want to double check. But I'm not running from nobody.
So your kids, as well as Bedford Academy, have to have an 80 average.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I put that on the list because you guys are in the A division, and that doesn't exist on any team on the AA system.
Correct.
Right? So you guys are making sure that your kids are prepared.
Correct.
Man, that's solid right there. That's solid right there.
Yeah.
So I want to salute Benjamin Banneker and Bedford Academy for keeping the standards up high and making sure that our kids are getting the best education first, and then making sure that their basketball's intact. Let's go. So, Coach.
Yep.
In the last 10 years, who have been the best New York City high school you have coached and watched?
Just one single
last
school?
10 years.
One single school?
Yeah, you can name a few. Got this natty hair that's kicking on my nerves. Word.
I say Bedford. Bedford's tough. They're in the same age. Bedford's been tough. Thomas Jefferson. I've been playing them since I was doing JV. That was my first time beating them too when we beat them. So
yes, I saw that. Yeah.
The High. I mean, I won my battles with them doing JV a few times, but the High always been good when I played against them. South Shore, always. I have yet to get a win against him. But those been the main schools right there that's consistently good and consistently going to be competitive. They're going to be prepared for you. No matter what your game plan is, it's going to be somebody different ready to step up. And I think that speaks volumes to those coaches.
Do you think now that Tanya has left Lincoln that their glory days are over?
I think it just takes time. The coach over there is a good guy. We scrimmaged them the last 2 years. He has some good talent over there, but I just think it takes time. I think, Tiny was, of course, one of the best to ever do it, but I think he can't get caught up in that. This is his time now to figure out his niche, his path, and leave his own legacy. He can't worry about what happened before him. You know what I mean? He got to figure it out for himself, like he's been doing, and just continuing that ground running.
Who you think is the top 5 players in the city, Coach?
Top 5?
Just for your perspective.
I would say Brantley, Khalil Brantley. I would say Carlo. I like the kid from South Shore, the left-hand one, Zaire.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not going to go away from my guy. I'm going to say Gabe Holly right now. And the 5th person, I don't even know off the top of my head.
So those 4 right there. What year is Gabe in?
Gabe's a junior. We're about to be a senior right now.
He has anybody looking at him that you know
of? Yeah, I've been speaking to like a few junior colleges, a few D2s here of late. They're interested. They know about his. They asked about his leg, how he's doing. A few of them supposed to call him. I know at Division I JUCO, I actually reached out like 2 days ago about him. So his name is getting. He's getting a little bit notoriety now.
Okay. Well, I'm just putting it out there. Got Kenny Anderson. He's an assistant coach at an NIA school. And then you got my man, Jason Gilliam, who's at Florida Memorial down in Miami.
Got it.
To get a great experience at. So I just want to definitely put that out there. Also got my guy in Oklahoma State. He's the head coach of a Division I junior college team. And that's in the same conference as, Oklahoma and the Big Ten and all those guys out there. So just let me know what we can do to help him, man. Whatever we can do. We can make this a community, man, to help that guy.
Appreciate you.
For sure, for sure. What do you think about the AAU circuit?
Me just being somebody that's like loves basketball, I love to go watch it. I love to watch the different, kids that's coming up, the ones that they're talking about. But
you say you love. Oh, okay, I didn't hear your response.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, me being a basketball guy, a junkie, I love it. I love to see the guys playing, competing, trying to get a scholarship. But I feel like sometimes they worry about that more than anything else. Like they feel that's everything. And then sometimes that's not everything. And even like sometimes the coaches, you don't know what their best interests are sometimes. So I feel like, it's good and bad. I mean, I wouldn't say stop it. I would never tell one of my guys not to play it. I just feel like it somewhat takes away from all the work that you've been doing with them. And then when they get,
No, I agree, because the summer I watched Zion, right, and the year he was on the Dina Gauntlet circuit, y'all watched him every night he was playing. And I never knew Ja Morant was on his team.
I didn't know that neither, so they started talking about it when he was about to go pro, that they played together.
Brother, I've been watching this guy for 2 years. And they've been playing with each other for that long. The fact that this kid, and before him, Damian Lillard, right?
Yep.
And then my man McCollum, right? Like, I use those 3 guys as examples of what you can do without being a big name on a circuit. If you just work on your game.
Right.
And you find someone that believes in you. That's the key.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the biggest
Because
thing.
you can go on the AU circuit and not get noticed by anyone.
Yeah.
Right? And you find that one special coach that believes in you, and you turn that program into something that you make it into. And there's so many street agents and so many people who are getting deals, who are turning their teams into AAUs, and they just let the kids play. They're not developing the kids.
Right.
Right? I had Garfield Smith on the other night. Garfield went to Our Savior Lutheran, and after that, he played for the University of Maryland, played with Walt Williams.
Okay.
And did a good job of dominating 2 years. But he didn't really do it in high school like that. He developed his whole game on the AAU circuit. From beginning to end.
Right.
Right? And it's not like that these days. The AAU guys are not developing. It's more like, let's just get the kids, throw them in the microwave, give them some sneakers, give some clothes, some slippers, and now they rock stars.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it too is, I know in the city, there's no gym space. I mean, there's gyms, but it's hard to get the permits. So, I mean, I give them that. Sometimes they may not be able to practice, but there's always a park. You can figure something out.
Yes. Yes. And there's a will, there's a way. New York City Prince said, do you think the PSAL should resume the Final Four later in the summer?
I need my championship, so I would say yeah. I would say yeah, but I mean, for the safety of everybody, I don't know. And then you got to also think about this. Like, it's going to take a lot, because the kids are not in the gym. They're not putting shots up. They're not doing anything really basketball related. So it take a whole lot just to get them somewhat back in shape.
It's not like they're the NBA when they got a gym in their house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad you answered that question early on about the 80 average, because I was definitely going to ask you and grill you about the standard of your players. And I want to try to get more coaches to see if they can buy into that. Because I think if we get our kids in New York City on that level, especially our Brooklyn kids on that level, we can change the dynamic of the way how we looked at throughout the country. Because right now we're not looking too well.
Right. I agree with you.
How many of your kids, since you've been head coach, have been going on to college?
All my guys go to, well, except one. All went to college, except John James. He went to the military. But they all went. I have 2 of them. They went to Herkimer. They got national championships. One of them went on to St. Francis. Not St. Francis in Manhattan. Went to college of St. Francis.
Yes.
Scholarship. The other one was supposed to go as well. He's going next year. I got one guy at St. Francis right now. But all my guys go to college. I got one of my guys, he's a doctor now. I got to call him Dr. Joseph. He works at Columbia. You know what I mean? So right now you got 100%, man. Because look, if he chose to go to the service, he's doing something with his time. Yeah. Right. It's not idle time. So right now you going 100%, man. That's good. Yeah. Yep. That's good. Salute to you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's dope.
I have another question. Do you fit? Who is this? Deuce 733. Do you feel that the culture of the street ball is hurting the kids in their overall development?
What I think is hurting the kids is the social media aspect of it. Because I feel like sometimes you're not playing the game for the win. You're playing the game for the video, the pictures, the likes. You're not going out there giving 110% and walking away saying, you know what, we beat y'all, and have bragging rights at that aspect. Your bragging rights is, you saw my video, I got something to post. So I think right. Kind of way it's hurting the kids.
Yeah, and you got these channels like Overtime, they just showing the guy's score. They don't show no defense. They don't show any defense. They don't show what happened before that. They just show the score, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not good. Let me see. I'm gonna get another question in here. So, is there a spot open for Banneker basketball next year? I'm looking for a transfer.
Yeah, we got
Thunder bucket.
If you want to come work hard, always a conversation for a spot.
You want to come to work hard? You don't want the coach? All in the video, all on the song. Come to Banneker.
That's it. Come work hard. That's it.
Well, listen, man. Coach, man, I appreciate you coming down, man, and holler at me. You know, I just want to say thank you for always participating in my guy CJ, Hemingway Miller, Clayton CJ Hemingway, who passed away, one of my kids who got murdered. We still looking for the killer. So if you know something, say something, because we got to keep these our kids safe in these streets.
Right.
And look, bro, you see the shirt I'm wearing today, right?
Yeah. Proud of my.
We going all, we down all over the country, man. So we got to save our kids, man. Definitely got to save our kids.
I appreciate you having me up here, man.
For sure. I want to show you some work real quick. Right? So my guy got you, man.
It's nice, man.
See that, Coach?
Yeah, I see that.
You even got your cut looking right, Coach. Look at the line of your cut, Coach.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
The artist, my dude.
Thank you, man. That's nice.
Right. True.
What are you doing over there, too? I should have done.
Huh?
So what are you doing back there?
Yeah. This is what we do back here. You know, we try to make it an event coming to basketball heads, man. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that we're in contact once all the artwork is finished up, and I'm gonna get it out to you, Coach.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Listen, I'm always gonna be a big supporter of your program. Tyreek is my kid, yo. I love that guy. Always see him in the neighborhood. He always give me a shout out, keep me updated what's going on. He the one that give me the schedules to the game to make sure I'm there. So when this whole thing break out, man, and we do this podcast thing, man, I want to bring you down to the studio, maybe bring your team down and do something special, man.
All right, man. Let me know. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right. All right. Peace. Thank you.
All right. Peace, guys.